actually. Stop talking. Do you know, guys, what context clues is?
Yeah.
So tell me what you know about context
Oh,
clues.
when you see a word you don't know, you use the context around what they said around it to get your answer.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
It's like
Anything different?
Yeah, I actually agree with it.
You agree with him?
long
Very good.
thing.
Like a little hint, right? Like a little hint. So look, I wrote the definition over here. I'm gonna read it, and you guys can write it in your notebook. Context clues are words in the sentence that can help you figure out the meaning of a difficult word that you do not know. Simple, same thing like he said. Good job. I'll give you a few minutes to write that. And then there's some strategies. We're gonna go through a story. So there's a couple of strategies that we use. How hold it like this? How about this? We hold it like this. I was gonna put it on the board, but I said sit with you guys in the group. Good.
Yes.
So we're gonna stay with the issue. Do it as simple as I can. Alright. Good. So the context clues, there's some strategies that we use to find the context clues. So I wrote down, everybody finished?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I wrote it down over here. So you can start writing this too, but I'm gonna read it. So reread the sentence that contains the unknown word. Be on the lookout for signal words or punctuation. Do you guys understand that?
Yes.
So what do you mean by the sentence? Can anybody like rephrase it? Someone, I know you don't like talking. It says reread the sentence.
Oh, for the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to say it or like?
No, I read it
for
already,
my
but what do
own?
you think? Yeah, for your own.
Reread it to make sure that you can understand it to your focus on your memories.
Good job. Yes. So you can write that sentence down too. The second one, it says reread the sentence before and after the sentence that contains the unknown word. So that means we're gonna read it first, the word, and then if you don't know the word, we're gonna try to figure out the definition from the clues in the sentence. And then we reread it with the clue in the sentence. Comprende?
Mm-hmm.
Understand? Anybody have any questions? You just keep writing it. And then if you want to, I'll read the next one, but it looks like something. Based on the clues, try to figure out the meaning of the word. Like I said, right? We're going to try to figure out the meaning from the clues, the hints in the sentence. Clues, hints, like that. And then it says, insert your meaning in the original sentence to see whatever it makes sense. Whatever makes sense. So the meaning, you just put it in there. Look. Just write it because these are the notes that you're going to need in the other place. Good, you can see it. So you kind of understand what context clues are. You've done it before, right? Well, now we're going to read a story. So these are the strategies we're going to look at throughout the story. Cool?
Yeah. So that's gonna help us?
Find the context clues. Good job. Good job. Yeah, I'll put it over here. Let's see. Now I'm going to give you a story. It's a short story. Okay, so now you finished.
maybe she didn't put my.
Finish. Now we're gonna try to find context clues here. That's why you go to your highlighter. Some clues, some words, unknown words. Alrighty? I'm gonna read the top. This is a short story by, it's called Jacket by Gary Soto. Gary Soto writes poetry, fiction, and nonfiction. Soto was born in 1952 in Fresno, California, to a Mexican-American family. The family struggled to make ends meet when he was growing up. There was times when Soto had to wear cardboard in his shoes to pick grapes to make money, and he also had to pick grapes to make money. Although the jacket reads like a short story, it's actually a memoir. Anybody know what a memoir is?
It's like a
Yeah, well, so it says that. Yes, it's not nonfiction. It says a true story about something that happened in the author's life in 5th and 6th grade. So this is really what happened to him. So we're going to read it now, and you guys have to highlight any words that you think that is not familiar to you, unknown words, and then we're going to try to figure it out, all right? And then you can annotate. I'm going to read like maybe the first two. Well, the first thing we have to do is number the paragraphs. So then you can tell me like if it's in paragraph 3, 4. So I'm going to number them all. Start reading. And you can annotate anything that you think is important on the side. See, it says annotation notes, but we're going to focus mostly on context clues. Ready? My clothes have failed me. I remember the green coat that I wore in 5th and 6th grades, when you either danced like a champ or pressed yourself against a greasy wall, bitter as a penny towards a happy couples. When I needed a new jacket, and my mother asked what kind I wanted, I described something like biker's wear, black leather and silver studs with enough belts to hold down a small town. We were in the kitchen, steam on the windows from her cooking. She listened so long while stirring dinner that I thought she understood for sure the kind I wanted. The next day when I got home from school, I discovered draped on my bedpost a jacket the color of a dry, one-day-old guacamole. What do you think it means? One-day guacamole. Yeah, but it was 1 day old, so it wasn't looking like a nice color, right?
No.
So you think does he like the jacket? You think?
No.
No. Let's see. I threw my books on the bed and approached the jacket slowly, as if it was a stranger whose hand I had to shake. I touched my vinyl sleeve, the collar peeked at the mustard colored lining. From the kitchen, Mother yelled that my jacket was in the closet. I closed the door to her voice and pulled it in the rack of the clothes in the closet, hoping the jacket on the bedpost wasn't for me, but for my mean brother. No luck. I gave up. From my bed, I stared at the jacket. I wanted to cry because it was so ugly and so big that I knew I had to wear it for a long time. I was a small kid, thin as a young tree, and it would be years before I had to get a new one. I stared at the jacket like an enemy, thinking bad things before I took off my old jacket whose sleeves climbed halfway to my elbow. So look at those 3 paragraphs that I read and see if you see any words like that you don't know or you're not familiar with. And you can highlight it. You can tell me which word it is. Anything? Do you know all the words? So I can continue?
Yes.
All right, let's see. I put the big jacket on. I zipped it up and down several times and rolled the cuffs up so they didn't cover my hands. I put my hands in the pockets and flapped the jacket like a big bird's wings. I stood in front of the mirror, full face, then profile, and then looked over my shoulder as if someone has called me. So the word I chose to put here is profile. I highlighted profile, so everybody should highlight profile.
Okay.
What do you think profile means? By looking at the sentence, I'll read it again. I stood in front of the mirror, full face, then profile, and then looked over my shoulder as if someone had called me. What do you think it means? In the sentence. like an outline, I guess. So we can put that in. Like it says, I stood in front of the mirror full face, then like it's like an outline, and then looked over my shoulder as if someone had called me. Yeah, it's like a side view of like my face. Alright, I would highlight that one, highlight it, and if you want to put an arrow to see what I said, like you know what the definition is, because you're gonna have homework when we don't finish this, so I'm just giving you a hint. Alright, so let's see what happens. I sat on the bed, stood against the bed. Oh wait, I sat on the bed, stood against the bed, and combed my hair to see what I would look like doing something natural. I looked ugly. I threw it on my brother's bed and looked at it for a long time before I slipped it on and went on to the backyard, smiling a thank you to my mom as I passed her in the kitchen. So what do you think? Does he like it or what?
No.
No. But why did he say thank you to the mom?
So she doesn't know that he doesn't like it.
Yeah. It's like thank you with like a smirk, right? With my hands in my pockets, I kicked the ball against the fence and then climbed it to sit looking into the alley. I hurled orange peels at the mouth of an open garbage can, and then when the peels were going, I watched the whole puffs on my breath and did to nothing. Any words you think that we need to like highlight? You can look at it. If you see any words, let me know. Do you know all the words? So I can continue?
Yes.
I jumped down, hands in my pockets, and in the backyard on my knees, I teased my dog, Brownie, by swooping my arms while making bird calls. He jumped at me and missed. He jumped again and again until a tooth stuck deep, ripping an L-shaped tear on my left sleeve. I pushed Brownie away to study the tear, as I would a cut on my arm. There was no blood, only a few loose pieces of fuzz. Damn dog, I thought, and pushed him away. And when he tried to bite again, I got up from my knees and went to the bedroom to sit with my jacket on my lap with the lights out. Any words, if you want to highlight any words there? No?
I worked there.
You good with it?
Yeah.
Alright, continuing. That was the first afternoon with my new jacket. The next day I wore it to 6th grade and I got a D in math quiz. During the morning recess, Frankie T, the background terrorist, pushed me to the ground and told me to stay there unless recess was over. My best friend Steve ate an apple while looking at me. The girls turned away to whisper on the monkey bars. The teachers were no help. They looked my way and talked about how foolish I looked in my new jacket. I saw their heads bob with laughter, their hands half covering their mouths. So what do we know so far? He really what?
Hates the jacket.
Yeah, he really does hate the jacket.
He hates it.
He hates it, and he seems to think that everybody's laughing at him, right?
Yeah.
All right. Did you get any words in that paragraph? Or you good?
I'm Gucci.
You good? All right. Next paragraph. Even though it was cold, I took off the jacket during lunch and played kickball in the thin shirt. My arms feeling like Braille from Goosebumps. I would highlight Braille. Does anybody know what that is?
I know Braille in the sense of being blind.
Yeah, like silent, like not silent. What? Like when you're blind.
And you could feel, yes.
Yeah.
So then you get that goes in. He says, feel like the goosebumps. So I would highlight Braille.
Or
Yeah. My arms feel like Braille for the goosebumps. When I returned to class, I slipped the jacket on the shivered until I was warm. I would highlight shivered. What do you think it means? Shivered. What do you think it means?
Like, oh, when you're cold, you shiver.
You're like, ooh, but what is it? like wrinkles, what do you think it means?
You're like that when because like you use the kinetic energy. You learn this in science. You use the kinetic energy to shiver until it warms you up by shaking aggressively. Then when you're warmed up, it stops.
Okay. So it's like a wrinkle. So let's see. Where was I? When I returned to class, slipped the jacket on, and I shivered until I was warm. Yes. So you highlight that, shivered.
Mm-hmm.
I sat on my hands, heating them up while the teeth shattered like a cup of crooked ducks. Finally warm, I slid out of the jacket, but a few minutes later, put it back on when the fire bell rang. We paraded out into the yard where we, the fifth graders, walked past all the other grades to stand against the back fence. Everybody saw me, although they didn't say it out loud. Man, that's ugly, I heard a buzz of the gossip and even laughter when I walked by, when I knew it meant to be. So you see this, so now he thinks that really nobody likes this jacket, and everybody's talking about him, right?
Yeah.
So any words, any other words that we should highlight there? No? And so I went in my guacamole jacket. So embarrassed, so hurt, I wouldn't even do my homework. I received C's on my quizzes and forgot the state capitals and the rivers of South America, our friendly neighbor. Even the girls who had been friendly blew away like the loose flowers to follow the boys in their neat jackets. So you see the girls. I wore any words that you think that you should highlight? That you don't know? The meaning of? No? Continue?
Yes.
I wore that thing 3 years until the sleeves grew short and my forearms stuck out like the necks of the turtles. All during that time, no love came to me. No little dark girl in a Sunday dress she wore on Monday. At lunchtime, I stayed with ugly boys who leaned against the chain link fence and looked around with propellers of grass spinning in our mouths. What about, I think you guys should highlight propellers. Do you know what that is?
Like the thing that they put on airplane. I mean, not airplane, helicopters.
It's in airplanes too, in the front. Yes, so it's like a what? What do you think it is? Explain it. Spinning what? Blade. Spinning blade, yes. And you can put that in there. It says, who leaned against the chain link fence and looked like a spinning blade of grass spinning in the hands. So you put it in there. So I would highlight propellers. And you, what did you say it was? Spinning blade. You can put an arrow on that. And then it says, we saw them and spun our propellers so fast, our faces were blurred. So they ran so fast like the propellers. Right, next one. I blame the jacket for those bad years. I blame my mother for her taste and for her cheap ways. It was so sad for her heart. With a friend, I spent my sixth grade year in a tree in the alley, waiting for something good to happen to me in that jacket. And that became my ugly brother who tagged along wherever I went. And it was about the time I began to grow. My chest puffed up, muscles, and strangely a few more ribs. Even my hands, these fleshy hammers, showed bravery through the cuffs, the fingers already hardening of the coming fights. But the L-shaped rip on the left sleeve got bigger. Bits of stuffing coughed out from the wound after a hard day at play. I finally scotch taped it close, but in the rain or cold weather, the tape peeled off like a scab, and more stuffing fell out until the sleeve shriveled. We said shriveled before. What does it mean? Until it what? It wrinkled up, like it wrinkled up, like shriveled into a. You should highlight shriveled again. Oh, you highlighted over there. You could do that. The winter, the elbows began to crack, and the whole clumps of green began to fall off. I showed the cracks to my mother, who always seemed to be at the stove with steamed up glasses, and she said there were children in Mexico who loved that jacket. So why do you think she didn't buy him another jacket?
We didn't have the bunnies.
Yeah, it said it in the first sentence, right? I blame my mother for her bad taste and for her cheap ways. But he still wore it, right? You didn't want to hurt her feelings.
Yeah.
He did, right? He yelled at the sister didn't have a jacket like mine. I went outside, ready to cry, and climbed the tree by the alley to think bad thoughts and breathe off white and disappear. The last paragraph. Any other words that we have highlighted there that you don't know? Unknown words? No?
I just want to say though, that blog, that one sentence, and she said there were children in Mexico who would love to have that jacket. What's it called? She's like very money smart on how she spends her money. Though I feel like it could be nice to have a new jacket. She's very smart on how she spends her money.
Yeah, and look, and it was all ripped up.
Yeah.
Like if you have your mom now and your jacket ripped, she's gonna buy a new one, or she's gonna tape it up.
She's gonna be like, just give me a second, and then she's never gonna do it.
Alright. You agree with her?
Yeah.
Your mom's gonna tape it up, or you're gonna get a new jacket? Okay, let's read, there's two more little paragraphs, and then we have to do something. And then if you don't finish, you're gonna finish your homework, so I'm gonna just do this, right? The whole piece of steel casually flew off my jacket when I played hard, read quietly, or took a vicious spelling test at school. What do you think? I think you should highlight vicious, but what do you think vicious means? Somebody other than him.
Hard, like scary, horror.
Scary, hard?
Yeah, for me.
Intense, yeah. Oh, took a vicious spelling test, yes. Like really intense. So you put that intense spelling test at school. You replace it with intense. Alright. When it became so spotted that my brother began to call me camouflage, I would highlight camouflage. But why do you think, what does the word camouflage mean in that sentence? When it became so spotted that my brother began to call me camouflage.
Like you imagine something like you look like them, like if you're purple, you look like this. You feel me?
What do you think camouflage means? You got it.
Imagine like you're in the wilderness and your jacket is like in the same
So
color
it
as the
matches like
wilderness.
the trees and
You
the grass.
blend in and you can work
You're
around.
hiding out. Yeah, good. See, it says began to call me camouflage because I guess you think it is color. It flung it over the fence into the alley. Later, however, I swiped the jacket off the ground and went inside to drape it across my lap and mope. I would highlight mope. And what do you think mope means besides these two? Be sad, yeah. Be sad, yeah. So it says, you said I draped it across my lap and I became sad or gloomy. Really, yeah, gloomy and sad.
It's a good guy.
Any other words we could do? We got everything? One more paragraph and then we're gonna stop doing our work here. I was called to dinner. Steam shriveled my mother's glasses again as she said my grace to my mom, to my brother and sister with their heads bowed down with ugly faces in the glasses of powdered milk. I gagged too, but eagerly ate rips of buttered tortilla that held swooped up my beans. So what do you think they would eat? Like, you could tell they were a poor family because look how they're eating. Powdered milk, right?
Yeah.
Let's see, I went outside with my jacket across my arm. It was a cold sky. The faces of the clouds were piled up hurting. I climbed the fence, jumped down with a grunt. I would highlight grunt. What do you think grunt means? Yes, a noise of frustration. Yeah, he was upset. Why was he upset? Because he still had the jacket.
Yeah, he's 80.
There's no way to end.
He still has the jacket, right?
I could think of a resolve. How about he gets a job?
Okay. Well, he was only fifth grade, fifth grade.
No, but he had a glow up. Remember when they said that he was getting so big? He had muscles.
Okay, but he still was a kid, like a teen. Maybe he's thought to be a
It
teen.
was just around the time where you could sell fruits on the side.
It was 1952. Yes. All right, I got one more sentence and then we're going to start over. All right, I started up the alley and soon slipped into a jacket. That green ugly brother who breathed all over my shoulder that day and ever since. Let's see. So could you tell me briefly about the story? What do you think? What was the moral of the story? Is there a lesson that's being taught?
Like
What?
be grateful.
That's it. That's the lesson.
Yeah,
Be
well,
grateful
somebody-
for what you have, right?
Yeah,
So if your
somebody-
parents can't afford anything, be grateful.
It's okay. I don't like the jacket.
He
That's
wasn't
what I'm
grateful,
saying.
but he did wear it.
Yeah.
He wasn't grateful.
He's
but
a good boy.
He's a good boy. So look, I'm gonna give you this.
Alive.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna show you. We're gonna start this. If we don't finish it, we're gonna do homework. All right. So let's see. Write your name on it first. And see the word profile.
Yeah.
So we're gonna write our definition. What was the definition? If you wrote it, you could have looked over here.
So
What was it?
outline of someone's face.
So I would put outline. Yep. Well, it doesn't have to be someone's face. It could be an object too, but we could put outline. I
Okay.
have to write it on the bottom. Sorry. I didn't see that. Outline. There's not really a synonym for that. So we could have put NA, not applicable. Oh no, wait, the synonym, yes.
Cinnamon.
Well, we're gonna put outline. Outline or a side view of an object. Like it's a side view. There's no antonyms actually. Well, who could give me a sentence? Or profile?
Let me get a profile picture of you.
Okay, put that. You guys can put your, let me get a profile. It's like an outline. This is my sentence. Add a sentence. It was about the, add a sentence, I'll read my sentence. So the image of the president's profile is on a penny. Right? His
Yeah.
image is on the penny, it's an outline of it, on the penny,
Oh, it's that George Washington, Abraham Lincoln.
on the penny.
What are you talking?
You guys want a sentence?
Yeah.
What about propeller? What could we say for a definition for that?
Spinning weapon.
Spinning out, it's not a weapon.
It's blade.
Alright,
Spinning blades.
so we could put spinning,
Yeah, but they could just be like, it doesn't have to be made.
you're right, it could be plastic too, a spinning blade.
Okay.
Cinnamon.
What does it say? There's not really,
There's no
it's
cinnamon.
like a fan, you could put fan, it looks like a fan.
Okay.
Fan, it looks like a fan.
This one has a
It
cinnamon.
spins.
This one has cinnamon.
I'm a fan of Justin Bieber.
There's no antonym in that. We're gonna do one more. Shrivel. What did we say was shrivel? What was shrivel?
Get small.
To get small? Like, okay, we could get small, or like we could put wrinkle, like wrinkled up. It's small. And what about an antonym for wrinkle? About tell me.
Large.
Yeah, plump.
Large.
Plump, yes. Plump, just fresh.
I'm doing
And you
it.
and do a sentence. You just do your own sentence.
Oh, okay.
So the bell's probably gonna ring in a few minutes. So you're gonna have to finish this for homework and that's about it. But you can finish up your sentence now. Stop it. Alright? So this is gonna be your homework. It's just this.
Oh, yeah.